the movie lovers out there, you need to visit this attraction. The Avenue of Stars pays homage to the cinematic icons that have elevated Hong Kong's film scene, and the plus is that it gives you a beautiful view of the Victoria Harbour. Inspired by the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you'll spot bronze handprints from local stars, a statue of the legendary Bruce Lee striking his signature martial arts pose, and another of Cantopop queen Anita Mui. Nearby, you'll spot the clock tower, a remnant of the former Kowloon station of the Kowloon Canton Railway. No entrance fees needed to explore this area, but you may just want to have a few coins ready in case you spot a Mr. Softy ice cream truck while you're here like we did. Beyond the glimmering statues of Hong Kong-born celebrities, the key attraction here is of course the view of Victoria Harbour. By day, you get a clear line of sight to Hong Kong Island skyscrapers framed by mountains in the background. By night, the whole skyline transforms and lights up. And if you time it right, you'll get the ultimate freebie, the Symphony of Lights. Every night at 8 p.m., more than 40 buildings on both sides of the harbor synchronize their lights, lasers, and projections into a 10-minute show. The best part? You don't need tickets or reservations. Just grab a spot along the railings, maybe with milk tea or coffee in hand, and enjoy the spectacle. Hong Kong is an expensive city to visit, but trust that there are definitely some activities that won't break the bank, just like this one, and we're sharing a few more of them in this video. But wait. Before we get into all of that, let me introduce myself. Hey there, Poor Traveler! I'm Hannah from WORTHIT Wonders. My teammates and I have been traveling with Vince and Yosh from the Poor Traveler for over 15 years. While we're not necessarily experts on Hong Kong, we have visited the booming financial center multiple times across the team. There's so much to explore, like museums, theme parks, temples, and the many great restaurants and food spots on its map. But you may find yourself cutting down your itinerary because you're mindful of your budget. We get where you're coming from, which is why we're exploring some attractions that are free to visit or sharing some alternative ways to visit some of the most popular attractions in Hong Kong in a more cost-effective way. Take note that by free, we mean that the places do not charge entrance fees. You will, of course, still have to cover your transportation, food, souvenirs, etc. This video is just one in a series on all things Hong Kong, and we just started it with a travel guide, which you can watch here. If you're new to this channel, we always have useful travel content, so if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe you could tap that subscribe button and also the bell icon beside it. Then select all, so you're always updated when we have new travel videos. By the way, this video will be in English. If you're looking for a Tagalog version, visit our main channel called The Poor Traveler here on YouTube. So what's next on our list of free things to do in Hong Kong? Did you know that there is no entrance fee at Victoria Peak in Hong Kong? When people think of Victoria Peak, they often imagine the Peak Tram and the pricey Sky Terrace 428. But the thing is, you don't need to pay a single cent to get to the peak and enjoy the same world-famous view. There is no entrance fee for it. If you're paying for anything, it's likely the Peak Tram or entrance to the Sky Terrace. Don't worry because there are other, cheaper ways to get there. If you're on a budget and you're coming from Central, instead of hopping on the tram, you can take Bus 15 from Exchange Square and alight at the Peak. The bus fare is 13 Hong Kong dollars, just a tiny fraction of the 82 Hong Kong dollars Peak Tram price. But the downside is that the travel time is 41 minutes. The minibus is faster. Find the minibus terminal in Central and look for minibus number 1. The Octopus card is also accepted. It will take you straight to Peak Galleria in that same area. The fare is 11.8 Hong Kong dollars and the travel time is about 20 minutes. If you want to splurge a bit on the Peak Tram ride, I recommend getting your tickets off of Agoda. On top of Agoda's own discount, you can use our promo code AATPT for another 5% off your Peak Tram tickets. This screenshot is from Agoda's website. If you're planning to purchase your tickets using your laptop or your desktop, go straight to www.thepoortraveler.net/activities to automatically redeem your discount voucher. You can use this code for up to 5 times for a 5% discount capped at 30 USD during each use. If you're using your phone, just enter AATPT, must be all caps, in the deals page and upon checkout. Yes, you have to do it twice for the discount to apply. Now, if you're into hiking, you may just want to take the morning trail from the mid-levels instead. It's a steady uphill walk that doubles as free cardio but might be challenging on hot, humid summer afternoons. Once you're up there, you'll find a lot of viewpoints that do not require an entrance fee. Of course, most tourists are drawn to the Sky Terrace 428, and the view here is really breathtaking. But if budget is an issue, you can totally skip it and go to this building instead. This is the Peak Galleria, a shopping mall right across the Peak Tower, and yes, it has a viewing deck too, and access is completely free of charge. From the ground floor, you can take this elevator to the top floor. But recently, this is always out of service. In that case, go inside the mall and find your way to the top. Just beside Monopoly Dreams is this lookout. From here, you can also enjoy a fantastic view of Hong Kong skyline and Victoria Harbour with the iconic tram in the foreground. Another viewpoint you can consider is Lugard Road Lookout. My friends and I decided to try this instead, but take note that it is a bit of a walk from Peak Galleria. There's definitely less of a crowd here, but you will cross paths with a lot of joggers and runners. You can also consider the Lions Pavilion Lookout. Tucked between modern buildings in Sheung, Manmo Temple is one of Hong Kong's oldest temples, and it won't cost you a thing to enter. Built in the mid-1800s, it is a Taoist temple dedicated to two deities, Quan Tai, the god of war and brotherhood, and Man Zhong, the god of literature. Back in the day, locals would come here to pray for success in civil exams, and even today, you might still find students milling around here before a big test. One of the best things about this temple is that it's right in Central, so you can easily add it to the itinerary if you're in the area, perhaps after a bit of sightseeing or shopping. Take note that there are several Manmo temples in Hong Kong, but this is one of the largest, and it is actually a historic monument. There are actually 3 buildings within the complex considered as part of the historical monument. The Manmo Temple is where the 2 gods we mentioned earlier are worshipped. You will also find the Lich Shing Kung, which was built for all heavenly gods. Lastly, we have the Kung Sor, which served a more administrative function rather than a spiritual one. Here, the community would settle conflicts as an alternative to the judicial system. Step inside and you'll feel instantly transported. The air is thick with the scent of incense as giant spiral coils burn slowly from the ceiling. The light filtering through creates a moody, almost cinematic atmosphere that makes you forget the busy streets just outside the temple gates. The image you have of Hong Kong is probably of a city with towering skyscrapers and streets lined with neon signs. At least that's what I get when I do a Google search. But there's more to the city than you think. Hiding beneath the shadows of its neon signs, you'll find bold, colorful street art. This massive piece is painted on the side of Hotel Madeira Hollywood in Central using a vibrant pop art style and larger-than-life characters. Not far away is Shing Wong Street, a steep staircase turned art canvas. Instead of plain gray steps, you'll find bursts of painted patterns that make climbing the hill a lot more fun and a lot more Instagrammable. The street itself is quiet compared to nearby Hollywood Road, so you can slow down, snap photos, and take in the creativity without the usual city chaos buzzing around you. The spot is also part of the Sun Yat-sen Historical Trail, which weaves through the neighborhood, marked by bronze plaques, signs, and installations that highlight the revolutionary leader's time in Hong Kong. Following the trail gives you a sense of how the city shaped Sun Yat-sen's early years, while also letting you discover tucked-away corners that most tourists miss. Pair that with the surrounding murals, and you've got this unique mashup of modern street culture and deep-rooted history, which is exactly what Hong Kong is all about. The beauty of exploring this area is that it's always changing. Street art gets refreshed, new murals pop up, and the energy evolves with each visit. The only thing this walkthrough will cost you will be a few thousand steps, so make sure to bring water with you. The mix of visuals, stories, and atmosphere makes it one of the most rewarding ways to spend a budget-friendly afternoon in the city. Only in Hong Kong would you find the world's longest outdoor covered escalator system, and yes, you can ride it for free. Stretching over 800 meters from Queens Road Central up to Conduit Road, the Central to Mid-Levels escalator isn't just a way to get around. It's practically a sightseeing tour on conveyor belts. The system consists of 16 one-way reversible escalators that connect the busy streets of Central to the more residential mid-levels, saving locals from trudging up those brutally steep hills. Riding the escalators takes you past buzzing neighborhoods filled with restaurants, cafes, and street art. You'll glide through Soho, or south of Hollywood Road, one of Hong Kong's trendiest dining spots, and past old Pang Lao buildings that give you a glimpse of the city's past. The view changes with every section, making it feel like a movie balcony over Central's urban jungle. Do take note though that the escalator changes directions. In the mornings, typically from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., the escalator will run downhill to help commuters get to work. From late morning until midnight, however, the direction of the escalator switches and goes uphill. If you were planning on using this as a shortcut, you might just end up taking more time using the escalators, but if you're just there to say you've ridden the world's longest outdoor escalator, then it's probably fine. Definitely not your typical tourist attraction, but I think it's very fitting for the urban jungle of Hong Kong, and it's free. Nothing screams classic Hong Kong the way Mongkok does. If you're looking to bathe in the warmth and colors of Hong Kong's postcard perfect neon signs, you need to make a stop here. Now, while you're not paying anything at all to experience this, you should be mindful that this area is famous for its street markets, which have different wares and themes. You'll find rows and rows of souvenirs, knockoff bags, and quirky trinkets at Ladies Market. For the sneakerheads, make your way to Sneaker Street. Even if you don't buy a thing, it's a visual overload you won't forget. Between the buzzing crowds, flashing lights, and the constant aroma of street food, the whole area feels like a free attraction in itself. Yes, it's a bit chaotic, but it's a great way to immerse yourself in Hong Kong street culture. And like we mentioned, it's free to walk around and explore, but because there are so many different things that you can buy, just be mindful and maybe prepare your budget for this. Just a train station away from Mongkok, you'll find SHUI, which is also packed with markets and foodie spots. Among the usual places people visit is Kung Wo Bean Curd Factory, which has been selling soy products since 1960. If you're planning to hit Michelin spots in the city, add this to your list since they have a Bib Gourmand distinction. This spot sells 1,000 bowls of its signature tofu fa, or bean curd pudding, a day. The silky tofu is drowned in cane sugar water, but feel free to sprinkle extra brown sugar on top. It costs 14 to 18 Hong Kong dollars per bowl. My teammates also got to try their deep-fried tofu topped with a thin slice of seasoned pork, which cost 14 Hong Kong dollars per serving. Here are some of the street markets you can't miss at SHUI. This street flea market is a hotspot for gadgets and electronic items, including laptops, mobile phones, and accessories. And this street has the nickname Bead Street because the shops here sell beads, buttons, and other sewing needs. There are also costume and jewelry stores. Adding to the different attractions in SHUI are these two historic temples in one complex. Both are housed in heritage buildings built in 1898 and 1920 respectively. After your tour, if you're still looking for something to do, drop by the Jockey Club Creative Arts Center. It was built in 1977 as a complex of small family-run factories, but today it has been transformed into an artist village. This spot is another break from Hong Kong's urban jungle. In the middle of Kowloon, you'll find this peaceful 3.5-hectare garden that follows the classical Tang Dynasty style. The trees and shrubs are carefully manicured, and there's a calming blue pond in the center, straddled by a vermilion bridge that leads to the small pagoda called the Pavilion of Absolute Perfection. What a name, and I really do think it's very fitting. Aside from this beautiful pavilion and pond area, you may also want to visit the Ancient Chinese Timber Architecture Gallery. This gallery is small but well-made and well-designed, rightfully so considering the exhibit that it shows. It's a great way to learn more about Chinese history and architecture through beautifully made miniatures. You'll get a glimpse of how timber houses were built during the Tang Dynasty. Do take note that silence is a must in this area because the Chilean nunnery is right beside the garden. Now that we've covered free attractions on Hong Kong Island and Kowloon, let's explore some attractions in the new territories. In the Tai Po district, there stands a giant Buddhist structure. In the Tsisan Monastery, the 76-meter statue of Guanyin, one of the most revered deities in Buddhism, stands tall and gleaming white. But don't let the white paint fool you, it's actually made of bronze. This image of Guanyin holds a vase in her left hand, symbolizing purification, and in her right hand is a pearl, symbolizing wisdom. It stands on a three-tier lotus flower, which sits on top of the Buddhist Art Museum. Inside, you can see an impressive collection of Buddhist images, relics, and artifacts. Now, you can go straight to the Guanyin statue, but if you have the time, you can definitely go through the different halls within the monastery. Take some time to visit the Maitreya Buddha Hall, which shows a gilded Bodhisattva Maitreya, the future Buddha, which you may notice wears this heavenly crown. Behind him, you'll find the Bodhisattva Skanda, much smaller in comparison, protecting the monastery. On the sides of this hall, you will find the 4 heavenly kings, more colorful and more fearsome than the gilded Buddhas. In Chinese temples, you may find different versions of these 4 heavenly kings guarding the temple entrances, just as they are doing here. Behind this hall, you will see the Grand Buddha Hall, with 3 Buddha statues inside, as well as 18 of these bronze arhats. Do take note though that you can't just drop by this monastery. Yes, admission is free, but you do have to register in advance on their official website. Only 400 visitors per day are allowed at this sacred space. We'll add the link to the website in the description of this video. When people hear Ngongping, the first thing that probably comes to mind is the cable car ride called Ngongping 360. But Ngongping actually refers to this area where you'll find the Tiantan Buddha, also known as the Big Buddha, a 34-meter bronze statue that has become an icon of Hong Kong, and Polin Monastery, a Buddhist site built back in 1906. Yes, the walk up to the Big Buddha is a bit of a hike since it's more than 250 steps up, but the stairs are well designed with even steps and railings. If the Big Buddha seems like too much, you can also just visit the Polin Monastery or walk the Wisdom Path. Though I think the Wisdom Path right now is still undergoing some renovation. And yes, you can visit all these stops for free, although donations are appreciated. In fact, even Ngongping Village right beside the cable car station can be explored for free. There's really no entrance fee. What people usually pay for here is the cable car, which can be quite expensive. But that's not the only way to get here. It's much cheaper if you take the bus from Tongchong, which is also near the cable car station. It's only 20.4 Hong Kong dollars on weekdays and 37 Hong Kong dollars on holidays and weekends, which is much cheaper compared to the cable car fare. I haven't tried taking the bus yet to Ngongping, but my teammates have, and the experience was okay. It's not as scenic, of course, as the cable car ride, but if you're really trying to save money, this is a good option. The only downside is that it takes longer. Travel time is roughly 1 hour one way compared to the 25 minutes it takes for the cable car one way. If you end up buying cable car tickets instead of taking the bus, you'll want to order them off of Agoda for a bigger discount. On top of Agoda's own discount, you can use our promo code AATPT for another 5% off your Ngongping cable car tickets. But like we said, if you're looking to save, feel free to take the bus up to Ngongping Village. It's still an amazing experience, even without the scenic cable car ride. The landscaping here is really nice, so even just walking around with my friends was fun. Additionally, Ngongping Village is well equipped with stores and restaurants, so it will be easy to find something to eat in the area. If you want a taste of old Hong Kong, head to CHAU Fishing Village on Lantau Island, famous for its stilt houses that look like something straight out of a postcard. Walking through the alleys and bridges of this quaint fishing village gives you a glimpse into what life used to be for those living in a traditional fishing community. It's definitely a lot more laid back, I guess, compared to the city center. The markets are an experience on their own, and if you love visiting different grocery stores in different countries as a way to experience its culture, it's a similar experience going through CHAU's market and seeing the different items for sale. You'll find piles of dried seafood, shrimp paste jars, and snacks you've probably never seen before. If you want to splurge a little, you can hop on a boat ride to spot the elusive pink dolphins or cruise past the stilt houses. But honestly, just exploring on foot is already very rewarding. Since this attraction is also on Lantau Island, you can easily visit the CHAU Fishing Village from Ngongping. The great thing is that there is a bus connecting both areas. If you're planning to do the Ngongping cable car and the boat ride in Tai-O, you may want to book this tour off of Agoda, which includes pick-up from your accommodation in the Kowloon area, a round-trip cable car ride, a round-trip bus between Ngongping and Tai-O village, and the boat tour. Don't forget to use our code if you plan to get this package for up to 5% off on top of Agoda's discount at that. Of course, this is completely optional. You can definitely still enjoy a visit to the Tai-O Fishing Village DIY style. Now, you may be familiar with some of the outlying islands like Lantau Island because of Ngongping and Hong Kong Disneyland, but there are other islands in the new territories that may pique your interest, especially if you're one to prefer going off the beaten path. One of them is Ping Tau or Flat Island. The island is quite small, spanning only 1 square kilometer, so small in fact that it's smaller than the Hong Kong airport complex. Here are some attractions here that you may want to visit. The Long Mo Temple, dedicated to the Chinese goddess of water, who is revered by local residents. Tai Lei, a small island connected to Ping Tau by a bridge with a jagged offshoot called Turtle Rock and the sandy mini beach. Tung Wan Beach, a long sandy stretch close to the temple. You can also visit this leather factory, the island's most visited attraction, thanks to the heritage building that houses it and its history. It's no longer functioning as a workshop, but it serves as a creative quote-unquote secret garden which features various installations and graffiti. From Central, you can catch a ferry to Ping Tau and you'll reach the port in 30 to 40 minutes. This island is also close to Lantau Island in Ping Tau. CHEUNG is shaped like a bone or a dumbbell, 2 bulges at the ends connected by a narrow strip lined with beaches. If you're a bit overwhelmed by the cityscapes of Hong Kong, you might want to take a ferry to CHEUNG for its hiking trails and beaches. And if you're open to doing a DIY tour of the island, you can easily visit without spending on any entrance fees. During Yosh and Vince's last visit to CHEUNG, here's what they did for their quick day trip. CHEUNG Family Walk and Pak Ship Raya Road. These are 2 connected waterfront walkways close to the main pier that are lined with countless seafood restaurants with outdoor seating, so you could also admire the view from the promenade while indulging in fresh and delicious seafood. Paksha Street, this is another narrow alley that is flanked with intriguing establishments from IG-worthy cafes and tea houses to handmade souvenir stores. One of the most popular shops here is Kuo Chinji Bakery, which serves so-called lucky buns with sweet red bean or sesame paste fillings. You can also visit Yuk Hui Temple or Pak Tai Temple. It was completed in 1783, which places it among the oldest Taoist temples in Hong Kong. It was established for the worship of Pak Tai, one of the 5 forms of the highest deities in Taoism. From the Pak Tai Temple, you can take a short but, according to Yosh, exhausting walk up the hill to get a view of the island from the CHEUNG Observation Deck, aka North Lookout Pavilion. The entirety of the trail is paved, bookmarked by steep sets of stairs, so it is still generally easy, but not for those with mobility issues. On top, a stunning view of CHEUNG and the nearby islands awaits you. If you're hiking in the summer, know that it's much more challenging because of the heat. Bring water and a change of clothes. Lastly, you may want to check out CHEUNG Cinema Multicultural Park. At the center of the park, you will find the Chongche Cinema built in 1931. This pre-war cinema building is one of the longest preserved in Hong Kong. It's no longer functional as a movie house as it ceased commercial operations in 1997, but it still offers plenty of fun to this day. An open piazza hosts film screenings at night and musical performances on some days. The 1931 studio also serves as a museum where you can learn more about filmmaking. Fruit stalls and souvenir shops also dot the vicinity. Established around 400 years ago, Lai Tzu is one of the oldest but best preserved Hakka settlements in Hong Kong. Eventually, the village's prosperity started to decline, and with the urging of Feng Shui masters, walls were constructed around the village to preserve what was left of its good fortune. Today, this walled village encircles over 200 houses neatly arranged in rows. Very little has changed in this rural settlement because of its remote location. Just outside its walls, the Hokshan Monastery and Hiptin Temple remain standing. You can go inside the village and walk down its centuries-old alleys, follow the Laiziwo nature trail, and admire the mangroves around. You can also just explore and get wrapped in its old world charm or join a guided tour to learn more about Hakka history and culture. In 2020, the village was awarded a UNESCO Special Recognition for Sustainable Development for promoting cultural conservation. It's also part of the Hong Kong UNESCO Global Geopark. Among the towns of Hong Kong, Kok might intrigue you the most. Not a lot of people are actually aware of the settlement in the northernmost end of Hong Kong, but once they find out that it's a closed town, I'm sure it will pique their interest. But what does it even mean to be a closed town in Hong Kong? Located just south of the boundary with Shenzhen, Kok is within a regulated border zone called Frontier Closed Area. According to this article from the South China Morning Post, it was closed off by the British colonial government in the 1950s in an effort to combat smuggling, espionage, and illegal immigration. Today, this means that only an extremely limited number of tourists get to see and step into this community, and you can only visit the area from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. You also have to apply for a tourist closed area permit with the Hong Kong Police Force before you can get in. Don't worry, it's free of charge. You can apply for one online on the Hong Kong Police Force's official website at least 3 working days before your intended arrival. The online application system opens at the start of each month for visits scheduled in the following month. For example, slots for February visits are made available starting January 1. It's on a first-come, first-served basis. You'll find a link to the website in the description of this video. Now, don't expect exciting theme parks, giant shopping malls, or vibrant food markets waiting for you in Kok. Here's what could be waiting for you though. The Sun Moon Pavilion, a simple bayside nook where you could spend a quiet morning. You can also find the Fish Lantern Square, where these mascots symbolizing the Kok Fish Lantern Dance will be standing. The Kok Lantern Dance has been traditionally performed for over 300 years and has been declared a national intangible heritage. You'll also find Cheung Street in Kok, which straddles the border with Shenzhen. Now, this part of the street looks unassuming, but one part of it is in Hong Kong, while the other is in mainland China. There are also murals all around town, on the walls, in the corners, on the ground, depicting mostly festivals and characters. You will also find the longest pier in Hong Kong here in Kok, spanning 280 meters. It was constructed in the 1960s. Laiziwo, the previous item on this list, is actually connected to Kok through ferry, which you can take from here. It also serves as the gateway to the Hakka settlement. I know this doesn't seem exciting or glamorous, but it does represent the part of Hong Kong that we don't usually see. Naturally, tourists will tend to flock to the centers of any city or area, but a quick visit to Kok gives you perspective on how different life is when you're far from the center, where development is usually concentrated. And that's it for this list. If you've been to any of the items on this list, let us know how it was in the comments. If you know of any other free attractions that may be worth the visit in Hong Kong, let us know as well. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're always notified when we have new videos. That's all for now. Remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it!